Hi all, in this video we are going to learn about cell theory and the different types of cells like the prokaryotic cells and the eukaryotic cells. So let's get into the video. In this video, we are going to learn about the cell theory, the different components of cells, different parts inside a cell, namely the prokaryotic cell and the eukaryotic cell, a plant cell, and also the animal cell. What are the different functions of the cell organelles? What are the features of the cells? What are the characteristics of the cell? These are the things that we are going to learn in this video. There are so many scientists who discovered the features of the cell. Namely, the first one was Robert Hooke. In 1665, he was the first person. He looked at a cork and he found so many boxes inside it. And followed by Robert Hooke, it was Anton von Leeuwenhoek. In 1673, he found living organisms or the living cells inside the pond water. And after that, he named the small living organisms as animalcules also. So here is an image of what he saw in the pond water. We can find small insects and earthworms and mosquitoes, which he saw in the earlier days. Followed by Leeuwenhoek, it was Theodor Scheven. He was a German scientist. He was a geologist, and in 1839 he found some animal tissues. Tissue is nothing but a group of cells. And after Theodore, it was Matthias Sleeden, and he was a botanist. In 1845, he found some tissues inside the plants. After Matthias, it is Rudolf. In 1850, he found that there would be cells and tissues both inside the plants as well as in the animals, and he named these small important parts or the important units as cells. So the cell name was given to the cell only in 1850. So we have some cell theory which states that every living organism or every living being will be having so many cells in it, either a one cell or so many cell. So each and every cell will be having a structure or a shape, and they will be having some function, they will be having a feature, and they will be having some characteristics, and based on that it will work. So this is what we say it as cell theory. So first of all, let us learn the cell features. Every cell will be having ribosome, cytoplasm, DNA, which is nothing but the deoxynucleic acid, cytoskeleton, and the cell membrane. So we human beings have skin to cover the whole body. So likewise, we have the cell membrane, which is nothing but the outer boundary. Inside the cell membrane, the cell will be having plasma membrane. So we human beings have bones to it's for the shape and structure. In order to provide this shape and the structure for the cell, they have cytoskeleton. So deoxyribonucleic acid is nothing but the nucleic acid which will be present inside the chromosome. Chromosome will be present inside the nucleus. So DNA is nothing but it provides the information about the genes. It provides the information about the character of the person, about the features of the person or the behavior of the person, and this is what we get from our ancestors. So DNA would be present inside the chromosome would be present inside the nucleus, and cytoplasm is like we human beings have blood circulating in our body. Likewise, inside the cell, cytoplasm is nothing but the fluid which would be circulating throughout the cell. So ribosome is nothing but it is the organelle which generates protein, and it generates energy for the cell. So these are the main features or the general features of a cell. First of all, let's get into the prokaryotic cell. This is nothing but a single cellular organism. This prokaryotic cell, we can the animals which have prokaryotic cells are called as prokaryotes. The main example is the bacteria. The image we can see in the slide. First one is the cell wall or the cell membrane. Inside the cell wall, as I told you already, we will be having a plasma membrane. Inside the plasma membrane, there would be ribosomes, which are red in color. Ribosomes generate the proteins, as I told you already, and these areas, the gap inside the cell wall, we say it as cytoplasm, and it is nothing but the fluid. Inside the cytoplasm, we have DNA. There won't be any nucleus inside the prokaryotic cells. So DNA is a deoxyribonucleic acid, as I told you already. And for the movement of the cell or for locomotion, there would be a flagella, and it is also for sensitivity. So this is the example for a bacteria that causes anthrax disease. This anthrax disease, it will be developed inside the sheep, and once this bacteria is affected in the sheep, then the sheep can't live. It is a fatal disease. So this is the microscopic image of the bacteria. Even the bacteria will be having a chromosome, which is there in the picture. Bacterium would be there and a plasmid would be there. So the next one is the eukaryotic cell. So the eukaryotic cell is will be having a nucleus. It's not like the prokaryotic cell. So the cell membrane would be there as usual, and the plasma membrane would be there as usual. Cytoplasm is the fluid which will be circulating inside the eukaryotic cell. Nucleus is there. Inside the nucleus, we will be having a nucleolus, and so many organelles would be there in the eukaryotic cells. So let's see the image of the eukaryotic cell. First one is the nucleolus. Nucleolus is the centermost part of the eukaryotic cell. We human beings, in the face we have pores, in the skin we have pores. Likewise, the nucleus is also having nuclear pore. And the nucleus would also be surrounded by a nuclear envelope. So it's like the outer boundary for the nucleus. So inside the nucleus only we will be having chromosome, and inside the nucleus, as I told already, there would be DNA. And the next important organ is the mitochondria. Mitochondria converts the protein into chemical energy, and it is like the power source or the energy source for the eukaryotic cell. And based on the energy generated in the mitochondria, the cell will move or locomote. So this is the main work of a mitochondria. So the next important cell organelle is the Golgi apparatus. So this Golgi apparatus generates the protein, and it acts as the post office, and it gives the energy to the endoplasmic reticulum. So it just passes the energy and it gives it to the endoplasmic reticulum. So lysosome is like a ribosome in prokaryotic cell. This also generates the energy, generates the proteins, and it is like an enzyme. So the next important organelle is the endoplasmic reticulum. So this endoplasmic reticulum is of two types. One is the rough endoplasmic reticulum, and the other one is the smooth endoplasmic reticulum. The rough endoplasmic reticulum, it contains the ribosomes, but the smooth endoplasmic reticulum, it doesn't contains the ribosomes. So next one is the cytoskeleton. So we have bones in our body. Likewise, the cell is also having bones, small bones. First one is the microtubule, which is a hollow tube, micro in structure. Next one is a microfilament. It is like a thread-like structure, and it is also very small. Next one is a centrioles. That is also an animal cell. So that would also be quite small in nature, and these types of cells produce shapes and structure for the body. So the next one is the flagella. Flagella is nothing but for locomotion and also for sensitivity. So this flagella is mainly for knowing the direction of motion. So this is one type of flagella. The second type of flagella is in cilia. So there are so many micro flagellas would be there, and all the flagellas will generate the direction of motion. So two types of flagellas would be there. So how the protein is generated, how it is transformed into energy, we can find in this slide. So cell is a factory. It at first it generates the protein. The instruction that the protein is to be generated will be created by the DNA. Deoxyribonucleic acid will be having the instruction to generate the protein, but the protein would be generated by the ribosome actually. The ribosome will simply convert, provide the energy, provide the protein to the endoplasmic reticulum. Then the endoplasmic reticulum will provide the energy or the protein to the Golgi body, and then the Golgi body will develop the energy, and it will give to the neighboring cell or to the tissues or to the whole body. So that is the protein generation. This is how the cells will look like inside a microscope. So thank you for watching. See you in the next video. Until then, it's bye from Radhika.